Hello, our topic today is Concord. I'm going to be taking you through the definition of Concord, the types of Concord that we have in English language, and I'm going to be taking you through the examples of Concord in sentences. So let's go with the definition of Concord as the first thing. Concord in English language refers to the agreement among elements of a sentence. Concord simply means that the element of a sentence must agree, they must work in agreement, agreement in different forms that we are going to be seeing shortly. According to Quirk and Greenbaum, 1973, Concord refers to the agreement statement between sentential elements, most especially the subject and the verb. So concord simply means that the element of a sentence must agree, most especially the subject and the verb. Some people call it subject verb agreement. Instead of saying concord, they say subject verb agreement. Now, concord in English can be likened to mathematical equation in which an addition to the left demands an addition to the right. So as to achieve balance, the if you add to the right, you add to the left. The right now refers to subject and the left refers to the verb. We have different categories. So let's talk about the types of concord that we have. Number one, we have the number concord. The number concord as the first one. Then we have the parenthesis concord. We have the coordination concord. We have the proximity concord. Then we have notional concord. Notional concord. So let's go with the first one, number concord. Number concord. This means that if the subject in terms of number is singular, the verb must be singular or should be singular too. Okay, so if we have a sentence such as she goes to school every day, if the subject, which is she, is singular, the verb must be singular as well. Goes. The subject is she, singular. Just one person, a female, she, either a girl or a woman, she is singular. Then the verb must be singular. Now, this race, and if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural as well. Check example number two. They go to school every day. They go to school every day. They is plural. Plural, more than one. Plural. Then go is plural. Babadin dances at the river. Babadin, singular, and dances, singular. So the rule of number concord states that in terms of number, when the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. How do you identify singular subject and singular verb? Let's go to the next slide. Nouns. Now let's talk about singular nouns and plural nouns, singular verbs and plural verbs. Actually, when a noun takes s, it is plural. When a verb takes s, it is singular. If you let's check that through the examples that we have here. This table is for nouns. This table is for nouns, and we have the singular noun here, book. All these are singular without s. Book, spoon, boy, child, church. Now these are plural. These are plural nouns. Books, spoons, boys, children, churches. All these are plural nouns because they take the inflection x. In the case of a verb is singular when it takes the inflection s. When it takes s, it is singular. That is the inverse of noun. That is the opposite of noun. In the case of noun, when it takes s, it is plural. But in the case of verb, when it takes s, it is singular. So speaks is a singular verb. Sings is a singular verb. Believes, singular verb. writes, singular verb. Accepts, singular verb. So we have the plural verb here without inflection s, without inflection s. We have speak, sing, believe, write, accept. So the rule of Concord, let's go back to the previous slide. The rule of number Concord states that when the subject is singular as she, the verb must be singular as goes. Remember, goes is a singular verb. Go is going to be a plural verb because it doesn't take the inflection, the plural inflection. All right. So let's move ahead to the next slide now. There is, however, a clause to this rule. This is because each type of person, that is the first, second, and third person, has its own peculiarity relating to concord. Okay, this is what it's simply talking about. The instance of the first person singular I. The first person singular I takes both plural and singular verb. So if you say I, you can't say I loves him. You can't say that. Even though I, according to the rule of number concord, singular I is supposed to take singular verb. That is the rule of the of number concord. However, this I is an exception. I takes singular verb. I takes singular verb unless the verb is am or was. So, for instance, example 5, we have I love him, I love him, I love him. So I is singular, love here is a plural verb, but it works, it's gonna be grammatical because this I is an exception to the rule of number concord. So I love him. We have another example here, number 6. I singular was singular. In number 5, I singular love plural because I just told you that the first person singular pronoun is an exception. It can work both with a singular verb or a plural verb. The singular verb it goes along with are, was, and am. So you can equally say, I am a man. I am a man. So you have I as singular subject, am as singular verb. Then if you say I love him, the I is going to be a singular um, subjects, then love. Other verbs would be plural. Other verbs aside am and was, what when used with the first person singular pronoun I, will be plural. All right. It should be noted that both the second person singular and plural pronouns take plural verb. So in the case of the second person singular and plural pronouns, the singular, second person singular is you. The second person plural is still you. So in the case of the second person singular or plural, you use the plural verb. So you are not serious. That's an example. Example number 7, you are not serious. So you have you as a singular subject, you singular subject, yet it is taking a plural verb, a plural verb. So a singular verb, the singular form of this are is. She is in the kitchen. So but in this case now, you is a singular subject and it's still taking a plural verb. You are not serious. You are all welcome. Even when you means plural you, it still take a plural verb. All right, the next rule of concord is the next type of concord is parenthesis concord. Parenthesis concord. This rule states that when the subjects are linked by some subordinator, the verb goes or agrees with the first subject. For instance, we have the children, not the man, are around. the children, not the man. So not the man here is a subordinator. It is in parenthesis, and we have the children, not the man. The children would dictate the type of verb that is going to work with the sentence. So the children here is plural. The verb will be plural. Not the verb will not agree with this man because this man is in parentheses, is in bracket. You can as well say that the children are around because this not the man is optional. That is the that is what this type of concord is simply teaching. The man, not the children, is around. So you say that the man is around. So not the children is in parentheses. Okay. The next example is Precious with her in-laws is here. Precious with her in-laws is here. With her in-laws here is optional in parentheses. So you say Precious is here. Precious is here. So the verb agrees with the first subject, which is Precious. The teacher, along with the students, was in the meeting. So you say the teacher was in the meeting. So along with the student is in parentheses, which is optional in the sentence. So you say the teacher was in the meeting. Okay. The next type of concord is the coordinating concord. When two different subjects are joined with and, the verb is plural. When the two subjects refer to an entity, however, the verb takes the singular form. Okay, so this is what the rule is simply saying. When you use the coordinator hand, when you use the coordinator hand, the it is expected that you are joining or bringing together two subjects. So that makes the subject plural. And if the subject is plural, the verb will also be plural. So we have plural subject, plural verb, remember? And that's the rule of that's number concord. Okay, so my principal and the biology teacher. So we have plural subject, her coming. So this how will be plural. It's not gonna be is. The fact that this is a teacher will not determine this, but the whole subject is plural. In another instance, my principal and father is coming. In this instance, my principal is still my father because the article D is not there. So when you say my principal and father, so you can say my Lord and Savior is here. My Lord and Savior is here. So you're still talking about one person. So you say, my principal and father is coming. So this and here, this coordinator is not bringing together two subjects. It is still referring to one person. The next rule is the proximity concord. The proximity concord. This simply means closeness. Whenever two subjects are linked by neither, nor, or either, or, the verb agrees with the one closer to it. Simply put, neither, nor, or either, or are used to bring together two subjects. So, for instance, example 15, neither the president nor his children. Neither the president nor his children. So, there are two subjects here. We have the president and we have his children. The president and his children. The president and his children. So we have these two subjects have been linked by neither. So you see neither the president nor his children. And in this instance, we the rule of proximity states that the nearest subject to the verb of the sentence, the nearest subject to the verb of the sentence would agree with the verb. So we have his children, his children. is the nearest to this verb are. So its children will determine the number of the verb, if the verb is going to be singular or plural. So we have neither the president nor his children are coming. Are coming. Okay, number 16. Either Bimpe or the students sing every day. Either Bimpe or you see the nearest to the verb, which is sing. The sing is the verb. The nearest to the verb is the student. The student is plural, so the verb is plural. The last type, another list, is the notional concord. The notional concord, the rule states that when collective nouns such as army, family, police, club, team, etc. are referred to as a unit, they take singular subject. If they are being referred to as individual, however, they take plural subject. Simply put, the police is corrupt. The police is corrupt. The police is corrupt. So the police is a collective noun. It can either take the singular verb or the plural verb. When it takes the simple singular verb, it means that it is being referred to as a unit. When it takes a plural verb, uh, it is being referred to as individual. Okay, so note, when collective nouns perform action, they are usually used along with plural verb. So when they perform actions, when collective nouns such as the club is at peace, this is not performing action here. The club is at peace. So the club is referred to as a unit here. So it's going to take a singular verb. Then when the club is referred to as performing actions, the club are fighting. That is, individuals in the club are fighting. And then it takes the collective noun club takes a plural verb. Hope you've been able to learn the five types of concord. The next lesson is going to be on the 24 rules of concord, where we can teach one after the other.